It's also a social networking site for academics. It's all those things. So believe it or not, you can follow people on Mendeley.com, automatically have their journal articles uploaded to your Mendeley profile. People can follow you on Mendeley. It's free to use, which is really great. There's some really cool features. I'm assuming that most of you guys know how to download software, so I'm not going to go through this ad nauseum. But if you just go to Mendeley, sign in, of course. You guys have to create an account. This is through Elsevier, so if you already have an Elsevier account, does anyone have an Elsevier account? Okay, yeah, I would assume so. Well, I have an Elsevier account. So you want to stay signed in, you can sign in, and then from this website, guys, you can download several things, and you're going to want them all. So there's the Mendeley desktop app itself, which is obviously the most important. There's a web importer which will automatically import web documents into your Mendeley Citation Manager, and there's also a reference manager import for Word. So you download them all, and then you're able to use it seamlessly kind of between the three mediums. So what I mean by this is, if I pull up one of my, let me pull up one of my papers. Beef, it's the Alright, so this is a paper that both Kira and I were working on. It's done now, so thank goodness. And one thing you might notice here is that we're using these kind of superscript citations that are common to American Medical Association citation style. If you use that, what's a big problem with using these numbered citations? Anyone tell me? From a very practical standpoint, what's the issue with using this? What if I move 15 to where 12 is? What happens? Come on, guys. Come on. Well, then the whole order gets reset. You have to redo your whole references. So, tool saves you a lot of time. Even in APA, given that you have to change where the parenthetical citation would go relative to the period, even in the APA, if I go to my references here, this is my Mendeley citing. I have an American Medical Association. If I want APA, hit it. It's going to take a little minute here. It's now reformatted all of my citations to APA style. So, if you don't understand the utility of it, and you just want to work harder and not smarter, do it by hand. It's a good tool. You should learn how to use it, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of academic research writing. So even as seniors, guys, if you don't plan on going on for a master's or a higher ed degree, still pretty useful for saving time here. And then if I wanted to switch back, you can do that. You can search more styles, guys. So if I go here, I can go to get more styles. What's a weird journal? Someone think of a weird journal. No weird journals here. How about the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research? Do they have a normal citation style? No, the answer to that is of course not. So you can do Journal of Strength right there, install it. Sync my Mendeley. And now I can reformat this here to there it is. Use this style. Done. It's reformatted again. So you can find pretty much anything with this citation style. It's a really useful manager in that way. The other thing I want to show you guys is how easy it is to import to your Mendeley. So this is all of my documents that I imported to Mendeley. It goes on pretty much forever. But if you want to add something new, so you go here, you guys have a preferable search engine for finding scholarly articles? Because I'm a big fan of Google Scholar. A lot of people don't love it. Google Scholar, guys, not Google. There is a difference, all right? Make sure you're using Google Scholar. So I like Google Scholar because it gives a good range of things. Keep in mind that Google Scholar doesn't include all the databases available out there. Ovid in particular, that includes, so Ovid and Mimcott-Williams, Ovid's a database that actually includes that Journal of Strength and Conditioning research. And oddly enough, that will not pull up usually on Google Scholar. So that you might need to go through another NDSU library database page. You're going here, so anyone have a topic they want me to search?
Pre-workout.
Pre-workout.
Let's
See what comes up. BCAs, the main benefits of branching. I don't think this is an actual article. Yeah, it's not. So apparently if you Google search swole, you don't get any scientific articles. Pre-workout and power. Okay. So you guys are here now. You're logged in through the NDSU libraries, right? It's a key feature, guys, to get access to articles, of course. You gotta make sure you're logged in. If you're not logged in, it's probably gonna ask you to pay for it. And they're like 30, 40 bucks a crack if you do pay for it, so please don't. So then you can just go here, guys, you download this PDF, so I'm gonna save it here and let me think. Now I'll save it in my class folder, so. Just call it exam. Without an S. So then here in my Mendeley, I can add a folder, and I can say, you know, this is going to be my example folder here. By just clicking on this button here, guys, and going back to that same folder. Whoops, next semester. This is where it really saves you time. So all I did was download the PDF, and it automatically filled in the metadata of the article. You see that? So you don't need to enter anything by hand. Title, authors, journal year, volume, issue, pages. Download the PDF, add it to Mendeley. More often than not, it's taken care of right there. Saves you a lot of time. And if you're using EndNote, you're entering this information by hand. So you can use EndNote, not my preference. The other thing to keep in mind is if you download the PDF in the way I suggested, this is also a PDF reader. Articles right here. So I have the citation and the actual manuscript now all in one place. In addition to that, I can highlight I can add notes. Anything, guys. So it's useful. The other thing I want to talk to you about too is if we're doing group projects in here that need citations, Mendeley's also got your back covered that way. So this is the literature review that Kara and I worked on this summer. This is all shared. So when you make a group, guys, so you can go down here and say create group, and I've already hit my maximum, so it's going to get mad at me. Name my group. This is HNES 734 or something like that. Just describe it. Sorry, 374? Yeah, my bad. Anyways, and then you can make it private, and then you can create the group, and see, I've already hit my limit because I've done this a million times. And then you can invite people to your group, which means that you're both sharing documents and citations. So, and you're also sharing notes on those documents. So you can collaborate entirely on Mendeley like this. It's kind of like using the citation manager style version of Google Docs. You know, it's not necessarily in real time. So the other thing I want to keep in mind, if you're doing that group, because it has to connect to the internet, a server to load, if you load something onto a group and you want people in the group to see it, you just got to hit the sync button. That just syncs your desktop version with the online version, because there's also an online version of this format that's available here at Mendeley. So like I can go to myself. I need to add a picture of myself here, of course, but look, there's my publication. 2 people read it. Woo! Really making big splashes here. But you can add stuff here, so you do that on this, and you can invite people to your group. And in addition to that, people can download those same PDFs from the group. So if I go to one of the other studies I'm working on right now, where I haven't reviewed all my articles, in the groups they'll show up as this download mark. Just hit that, article downloads and immediately pulls up. So if you share things on the group, once they're there, they're up. As far as things to know, guys, generally speaking, the software gets this information correct. I would say 95% of the time. You should still verify it. It doesn't take a lot of time, but occasionally you'll see something. In particular, if the title had something weird in it, like superscripts or subscripts, sometimes those show up funky when the Mendeley software translates it. So it's just a thing to make sure that these are usually correct, but before you turn in your assignment, you should double check them. A really small nitpicky point out there is when you're doing your reference list, the difference between title case and sentence case in all caps, right? So title case is the version where you don't capitalize ands and fors, but you capitalize everything else, right? Sentence case would just be first thing capitalized and anything after the colon. If there's a subtitle, then all caps are all caps. Certain citation styles, guys, vary on that nomenclature, but Mendeley, unfortunately, is the one thing it can't change. One thing you can do, if you're just kind of annoyed and you're at the end of a project and you don't want to mess around with this issue, so let's say we're on this project here that we're working on this summer, and look, this is all in sentence case. If I hit Shift F3, it'll go between all caps and no caps. So it'll go between sentence case, or title case, sorry, all caps, sentence case. So that's just Shift F3. So if you're looking for another quick way to kind of get that all formatted on your paper, that's another way you guys can do it. Unfortunately, the Shift F3 thing is a hotkey within Word. It's not a hotkey within Mendeley. So if you try to do that in the Mendeley section, it won't work. I just would suggest pulling it out and copying and pasting it in. When it comes to actually citing in an article, if I want to add a citation, for some reason, if I wanted to cite here, you would just go here, insert citation. The person that we just looked up, his last name was Jakim, I think. The acute effects of a pre-workout supplement. Obviously, I was not the first author on that one. It's this one. So then you do this. And it's in, including in my reference list. Down here at 33. There it is, right? So you can also do that to insert the bibliography, guys. It's the insert bibliography. It's this, just this insert bibliography thing here. And if you want to make sure you refresh your page to make sure your edits are good, you just hit refresh. There are some other things here you can do too. You can export. So you can export this whole document without the Mendeley fields, which is kind of nice because in a lot of ways, if you're exporting without the Mendeley fields, people who don't have the software, it might not show up on their computer or it might not work on their computer. So when you save to probably submit online, you want to use this export as and without Mendeley fields. That will keep everything the same, but what they mean by Mendeley fields is if I click on this guy, it selects my whole bibliography. And if I were to, let's say, delete source number 54, I actually have to do this, edit citation. If I delete Goyat and I hit OK, it's made the changes now to the bibliography. That's what they mean by fields, is that this is actually linked to what's in the text. So when you hit the export, it'll get rid of that, and you won't have any technical issues if you do submit to someone. Maybe doesn't have the software or just doesn't have a PDF viewer. I don't know, sometimes it doesn't work and it's better to be safe than sorry. I know it's kind of haphazard, guys, but that's the way my brain works. Any questions about how to use this? About why it might be useful? Do you want me to go through anything of how you use it? Basically, guys, download it when you're entering articles, create a group or create a folder, and just download your PDFs to a folder on your computer, import them to Mendeley, the PDF will automatically add it, then double check the references list in the Mendeley, and then that reference should be good to go. And it's really just as simple as that. And then if you need a strange citation style, like I said, you can look them up. Odds are probably you guys aren't going to need to format for a really specific journal or something. But if you are going to go on for a higher degree, it's something else to keep in mind because you are going to be doing weird formatting things all the time. Because if you submit to one journal, they have one formatting style, and you submit to another journal, and they have another, it's a real big pain in your butt to have to change all of them by hand. So, yeah. That's it.